Crestwood Penitentiary had been abandoned for decades, its looming silhouette a reminder of the horrors within. Locals whispered of inhumane punishments, unexplained disappearances, and a warden who vanished without a trace. Despite these rumors, the site attracted urban explorers and thrill seekers. One such group, led by amateur filmmaker Adam Reed, decided to document the prison's infamous underground tunnels for their YouTube channel. The Dark Beneath, they called it. With cameras, flashlights, and equipment, Adam and his three friends, Claire, Mike, and Jenny, entered the crumbling structure one evening. The upper levels of the prison were eerie but uneventful. Cells stood empty, their bars rusted and bent. Dust-coated walls bore faded graffiti, and the faint smell of mold lingered in the air. However, when they descended into the basement, an oppressive heaviness settled over them. The entrance to the tunnels was marked by a rusted iron gate. Above it, someone had scrawled in red paint, "Abandon hope, all who enter." Jenny hesitated. "Maybe we shouldn't go down there," she said, but Adam waved her off. The tunnels were pitch black, save for their flashlights. Narrow and damp, the walls seemed to close in the farther they ventured. Faint etchings could be seen in the stone, symbols and phrases in a language none of them recognized. After an hour, the group stumbled upon a chamber. In its center stood a crude altar fashioned from bones and stone. Surrounding it were grotesque statues, seemingly carved from human remains. "This can't be real," Mike whispered. Claire leaned closer to the altar, noticing dried bloodstains and scratch marks, as if someone had clawed at the stone. Before anyone could stop her, she touched the surface. A low, guttural sound echoed through the tunnels. The group froze, their breath catching in their throats. It was faint at first, distant footsteps dragging along the ground. "We need to leave," Jenny said. The footsteps grew louder, the air turned icy, their breath visible. Adam swung his flashlight toward the sound, but the beam revealed nothing. Then from the corner of the chamber, a shadow shifted. It wasn't human. The creature that emerged was tall and gaunt, its limbs unnaturally long, its face obscured by darkness. Its movements were jerky, like a marionette controlled by invisible strings. When it opened its mouth, a chorus of whispers filled the room, overlapping and indecipherable. Panic set in. The group bolted, retracing their steps through the tunnels. But the passageways seemed to shift, leading them in circles. The creature's whispers followed, growing louder, until they filled every corner of their minds. Jenny was the first to fall behind. Turning back, Adam saw her collapse to her knees, clutching her head. "Leave me," she screamed. Adam hesitated, but Claire pulled him forward. "We can't stop," she shouted. By the time they reached the iron gate, only Adam and Claire remained. Slamming it shut behind them, they collapsed on the cold prison floor, gasping for air. The whispers faded, but their relief was short-lived. When they returned to the surface, they realized something was wrong. The sky was an unnatural gray, the air heavy with silence. The prison seemed different. As they exited, a vast wasteland stretched endlessly in every direction. Adam checked his camera, hoping to make sense of what had happened. But the footage showed nothing but static. The last clear image was of the creature, its shadow stretching toward the lens. To this day, no one knows what happened to Adam, Claire, or the others. Crestwood Penitentiary remains sealed, its tunnels untouched. But locals claim that on quiet nights, faint whispers can still be heard emanating from the ruins, warning all who dare to listen.